Alrighty folks, how are we doing? How are we all doing this evening? Hello, hello, hello! Greetings! Just getting the game booted up now. There we go. Oh, pardon me sniffles. I'm almost at the end of me bugs. Hi, greetings, it's me, the beef. It's time for stream game. Stream game? It's time for games. Stream. There we go. Or alternatively, it's time to stream games. Either or. But yeah. We're back on Phoenix Wright. It is a Monday. We're back on. It is a good old fresh start to the week. And so it is time for the first stream of the week. Let me just tie up me old bonds. There we go. Get me old forehead tucked away. There we go. Now, where were we last time, chat? Ah, yes. 1 second. There we go. Alright. Game capture. Pardon me. There we go. Ah, yes. Last we left off, I was getting a bit frustrated at... Yeah, last we left off, chat, I was getting a bit frustrated at the old, hold on. There we go. Nice. Yeah, we're getting frustrated at trying to deduce what the, contradiction in this was. So let's go back and check out what dear old Gumshoe says. Earlier. Kind of scary today, you know, pal. God, I'm gonna start this only for that kind of attitude in my court. Alright, please stop glaring at me like that. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. Maya's costume. She was wearing this when we arrested her. Okay. Hey, hi Tank, good to see you. Good evening, Tank. How are you, my dear friend? Hello, hello, hello. Pardon my sniffles, I'm still coming off of, well, I should almost be a lot well now. A bit of spluttering still, but, you know, my voice is a lot better, and my nose isn't as blocked, it's just a bit runny, so... But yeah, hi Tank, welcome. It is Monday, so we are on the first stream of the week. She's wearing her channeling costume today too. She's not allowed to wear anything else. See, it's covered in blood. So chug. Oh, I mean, if you can redeem one, then I will chug something. But you know, because I think I should feel better enough to do a bit of chug, which is good. Results show that this is anyway. Right, hold on. I've got something I can finish off. Bit of a. I'll finish off this Beppis, call it, and then I can get back and get onto my regular hydration. So hold on, wait. Cheers. There we go. More of a shot than a chug, but it's something. Just while I get back into being my regular self again. There we go. Hey, bestie! Hi! Hi, bestie! How are you? We're on, good beef, thank you, thank you. We're on Phoenix Wright again. I'm just trying to get past where we were last time when I was kind of getting a bit frustrated with what the contradiction was. Also, yeah, hi everybody, how we doing? Bestie, how are you? Tank, how are you doing? Any updates for anybody? Like, hit me with anything you want, like, while we crack on with Phoenix Wright. Lab shows test there's the victim's blood. So there is blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes. Spent last night at my divorced friend's place. Oh, very nice. I'm glad. And how are they doing? How are they doing? Are they doing okay? Are you two doing okay? Existing together? If you catch my drift. There we go. So, were there any other clues you could glean from this piece of evidence? She can't sit down too well. Hey. That's my dog! Going home soon. Yay! Lovely! That's good to hear, Bestie. You can go home and chill out in your own bit again.
Objection!
We must change the topic, then the good detective here must testify again. But too bad, not enough time, let's move on. Well, correct. But the judge is on her side. Right off. Chew. Let's press further. Suddenly putting up resistance. There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. There must be something about this costume. Hey, hello Zanessa, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Mr. Moncana's logic is perfect. There's no way. So I need to look harder at the clothes. Right, hold on. I'm gonna save Skummits. Actually, there is something very wrong with this piece of evidence. Where is the problem you are talking about? From this far, there's no turning back. Oh. I've just realised there's a bullet hole there. I ask the court to please take a look at the sleeve of this costume. Oh, chat, I'm so foolish, chat. I've just remembered something. Hold on. Oh dear. We can't play Phoenix Wright like this. Hold on. Bear with me, chat. I'm gonna have to take my headphones off. Bear with me a second. I'm such a bloody fool, chat. I'm such a bloody... Oh, hold on. We're not wearing our tie, chat. We're not wearing our tie. Oh dear. We can't be in court without our tie on. It's shameful. Hold on. Go. I'm a bloody fool, chat. We were almost in court without proper close call beef. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we were almost in court without proper attire. Good grief. Right, hold on. Let's see if I can... Oh, shit, I've shenaniganed it, chat. Hold on. Oh, dear. I've shenaniganed it. Oh, hold on. Probably help if I was... There we go. It's better. Right, bear with me. Video. Hoi. It's that one. Okay, and then... There we go. Loop that there. Alright, I think I've got this. I hope I do. Right, bear with me. I need to tuck this as well. Yeah. You know what? It's a little bit off, but we'll make do. There we go. Better? There we go, chat. We're back. There we go. Got my tie on now. Nice and proper. Right, shall we? Right, the sleeve. There's a tiny hole here. Yes, almost like a bullet hole. But that wasn't in the report. Hold on. What's this around the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder. Yes, almost as if someone fired a shot at dear Maya. Oh, pardon me, good heavens. I don't even want to imagine what might have happened without the tie. Oh, yeah, well, exactly. You know? I mean, you know, people who deserve it, it's not happened to yet, but we might have almost been thrown into contempt of court. No one ever told me. A hole that smells of gunpowder, which would imply powder burns, I think. The only logical conclusion you can make is that it must be a bullet hole. A bullet? One second, chat. Sorry, Chad, apologies. This is a very grave matter. It's best we correct the court record first before anything else. I apologize, Chad. Maya's costume. Clothes Maya was wearing at the time of the murder. Press the check button for details. Thank you. Sorry about that. I guess we messed up, sir. She's smiling? What else is she hiding? Pull yourself together, detective. That tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony. That just now was a fluke, nothing more. Right, hold on, I want to do something real quick. They've said, oh, we can check. Yeah, so bullet hole there. Blood. Okay, interesting. Objection! Objection! How could you say something like that? This is a huge oversight. While I agree this is a mistake on the part of the police, what Prosecutor Von Karma has said is true, the evidence still stands, because of course it does. If you do not find a more definitive problem with the evidence... No way. Please continue with your testimony. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Right, I need to save after that because we just made a bit of progress, which is good. He wasn't fighting back? How do you know if he was or wasn't? We could find no evidence that the victim put up any sort of a struggle. So did the murderer have a fight with the victim or not? Depending on this, the circumstances around the murder changed drastically. Well, I had something to prove the victim did fight back. Okay. So something that proves that they fought back. Stabbed in the chest, gunpowder point blank. Diagram of the channeling chamber. Right, hold on. Shall we try? Hold on. Objection! Oh, might be a success. Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes? You call me by my full name is kind of a weird feeling. Control your emotions, detective. You said that my client killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Then what, may I ask, is the bullet hole you police overlooked supposed to mean? Tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is this what it means to not fight back? Seems you are correct. If the victim had tried to shoot the defendant, which we've not addressed, by the way, like, let's not get it twisted for a second, like, chat. The court still hasn't addressed the fact that our victim had a gun. They've not addressed that at all, or how it changes the circumstances of this case. Like, it's in evidence. We know it was the victim's gun. The court has not like acknowledged anything about that in terms of the circumstances it changes. Like, it does, like, it's bizarre. It's like, oh yeah, the victim had a gun. What do you mean he had a gun? Why did he bring a gun? I can't hear it right now. Hello, Malk. Good to see you. I can't hear right now. Malk's gone deaf, chat. Malk's lost his hearing. But yeah, like, for them to, like, just not address, right? The fact that the victim just brought a gun with him is, you know, that's not been addressed at all for some fucking reason. But anyway. Sorry, chat. Apologies. The wind seems to be shifting. What is with that "are you finished yet" laugh? Are you finished yet, Mr. Felix, right? Ms. Von Karma, it seems that Maya Fey was shot at by the victim. Yes. Can we address the gun in the room, chat? However, that is only grounds enough to support a justified self-defense plea. That's correct. But I'm sure you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty. Fucking Gumshoe got cut off there. He was like, now that you never mind ignored. Which means the defense has yet to prove anything at all. It's true. Gotta hit the curtsy, very polite. Furthermore, just the fact that there is a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even a plea of justified self-defense. So, don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we acquired at the dinner, of course. You mean by myself? You want me to put together the scenario all by myself? Jesus, woman, would you hold it back with the fucking whip? Jesus Christ. Sorry, chat. Had me messages from my kin. Right, what transpired, chat? Here we go. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Why did he have a gun? Can we address this? Can we address this? Why did he have a gun in the first place? Why did he bring it to the channeling, you know, where he would be locked in a room with one other person? Can we address this? Like, why is the court not addressing this? This is mind-boggling. It's like, oh yeah, he had a gun and he drew it in self-defense. It's like, why did he bring it in the first place? Why did he have a gun in the first place? I didn't realize, chat, that, when you're just out and about going to your local, like, tarot reading, it's fine to be fucking strapped from the shoulder with a fucking 6-iron. Can the court not address this? Can the court not ask, like, why did this man need to bring a gun? Like, why did he have it in the first place? Like, Jesus Christ. Phoenix Wright, you are mind-boggling sometimes. True, like, why though? Yeah, exactly, why? Like, they're just so flippant about this. Like, oh yeah, he drew his gun with the last of his strength and opened fire. It's like, why did he have it in the first place? Why did he have it? Why did he feel the need to bring a gun to a spiritual channeling? Like, is that not suspicious? The defendant picked up... Oh, that's something else as well. Like, has the court not heard of the 21-foot rule? Like, has the court not heard of that before, the 21-foot rule? If you bring a gun into a scenario where your assailant is armed with a knife and they're within 21 feet, like, I think if I remember rightly, it's like, that's enough room for them to get to you. let me double check. I might be wrong, Chad. I might have fucked that up. Hold on. 21-foot rule. Knife versus gun. Let's have a look. Yeah, the 21-foot rule establishes that a person with a knife can charge 21 feet, 6.4 meters, and stab a person with a holstered gun in approximately 1.5 seconds, often before the gun wielder can draw and fire. Yeah, so it's like, let's think about this. Why did this guy bring a gun into a small room where Maya, armed with a knife, could more than easily get up to him and stab him before he could draw? Like so much about this doesn't make sense, and which obviously pokes holes in it on our side, but it's just mind-boggling that the court hasn't, picked up on this or questioned why this man brought a gun to a fucking, spiritual reading, you know? The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. The scenario you have put together does it make sense? Does it make sense, Your Honor? Does it make sense, or are you just biased as fuck against me? Does it really make sense? No, it doesn't, because you've not thought about why this fucking dickhead brought a gun. Anyway, well, Mr. Wright, on the surface, it does seem to make sense. Yeah, on the fucking surface, until you think about it. However, I won't give up that easily. Please refrain from glaring at me like that. No, right, glare. Glare at the man. Glare at the man, lest we forget my blue sky post where I said if this man has no haters, I am dead. Let us not forget that. I'm gonna fucking keep that up there. Alright? I hate the judge. The judge is bad at his job. He should have thrown people in contempt of court a while ago. Fuck the judge. He's an idiot. He's bad at his job. Your cross-examination, please. Cross-examine this nut. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Plausible. There was quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. Add in body strength, and it seems unlikely the defendant could have stabbed the victim. A valid crash out. One of many, Zonasa. One of many. Now that you mention it, yeah, I guess. You think you can get away with such flimsy reasoning, Mr. Phoenix Wright? My FA was in the middle of channeling, was she not? Yeah, she was in the middle of it, so why the fuck could she possibly, Do this. When channeling with the Curain channeling technique, the medium physically changes. With the nurse's build, the defendant could have easily been a match. So, we acknowledge then that it was not Maya in control of her own actions. So hold on. The prosecution acknowledges that it was not Maya in control of her own actions, and yet somehow it's still Maya on the stand. For murder, chat. For murder. Even though the prosecution and the court just acknowledged that the Curain channeling technique, when you are using it, the spirit you're channeling takes over your body, and that Maya, while possessed, was not in control of her own actions, and it was the work and the actions of the nurse. What are we doing here? Why are we even in court, chat? What is happening? Why are we even in court if the prosecution has just acknowledged this? Maya wasn't even in control of her own actions. They just acknowledged she was possessed. Why are we even here? They just acknowledged she was possessed. And yet somehow, we're putting her up for murder? What are we doing here? This is a kangaroo court if ever there fucking was one. I am perfect. Doubt. Let's continue with the testimony. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. So he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. But if you think about the blood loss, he was probably hurt pretty bad. How pretty badly hurt would you say he was? I went to give blood the other day. Afterwards I felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. I guess the damage was maybe about 10 times the dizziness. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Where in the world did that pistol come from? Thank you! Looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specifically bought it for that day. Pause. Pause everything in the court. Did you listen? Y'all heard that right? Gray bought the pistol specifically for that day. He did not own that gun before, and yet somehow he buys a revolver on that day, the day he's going to the channeling. Can we think about that for a fucking minute? Can we not think about this for 5 seconds, chat? This man, who was going to be in a locked room with one other person, right, like, to go and see this nurse, right, and he buys a gun specifically on that day. What are we doing here? Why are we here? Why are we in court at all for this? This is a monumental waste of the taxpayers' time, chat. This is redonkulous. So we acknowledge the Curain technique exists, and that, as a part of it, a spirit possessed Maya, and Maya, whilst out of control because she was possessed by a different spirit, killed Dr. Gray. So we're acknowledging that Maya's still up for murder. And additionally, not only does the court recognise that Dr. Gray brought a gun to a spirit channeling, because again, I always bring a 45 when I go to a fucking tarot reading, but also, the court knows he bought it on that day specifically. Now, here's the thing. He's been getting hounded and getting a lot of bad press, right? For a while, because of the 14 people and that nurse who died, right? Now, if he was worried about himself and he was worried about his safety, would he not have bought a gun earlier? Would he not have bought it weeks or months earlier if he was potentially worried about his own health and safety as a result of PR from 14 people dead and a dead nurse in a car accident? Would he not have been like, I'm worried somebody might be pissed off about me. I'm going to go buy a revolver for personal safety. Fair. But he doesn't. He buys it specifically on the day that the murder happens, which I know it's his murder, but still, like, chat, you get what I'm going with, right? You see why we're crashing out right now. You see the frustration on this, right? Like, why are we here? Why are any of us here? Why are we in court? Why is Maya up for murder when the court just acknowledged that that she was fucking possessed? Can I please say source? Say it! Scream it from the fucking rafters! I fucking would. I'd like the moment the prosecution, like, cited the Curane channeling technique and acknowledged that Maya was possessed, I'd have slammed my hands down and, like, just gave the most loudest objection ever and said, why is Maya up for murder when the prosecution just acknowledged she was possessed? Yeah, it was her body, but she was possessed. She was elsewhere mentally. Like, what are we doing here? Why are we wasting court's time on this one? Jesus Christ. But a handgun. He got it off the black market. I'm going again, chat. I'm going again. I am going again. I am going again. He bought the revolver 2 days before the murder off the black market. Didn't even buy it legally. Bought it off the black market. Serial numbers filed off, probably, so it's untraceable. And he bought it and brought it 2 days, like, before the murder. So he buys an illegal gun and then brings it specifically on the day that this shit is happening. Like, are you serious? Are you mad? Are you for real, my gamer? And Maya's the one up for fucking murder, which I know this man is dead, but still, like, are you serious? Are you for real? You're kidding. Hey up, we've got a first-time chatter and it looks like they're on side. Who do we got here? Cyberbond and... Oh, hello Cyber, good to see you. This guy bought a handgun from the black market illegally. Nah, Maya's guilty. Like, yeah, like, here's the thing. We obviously can't say a dead man is guilty. You know, we can't do that. Like, the man, like, we can't say, oh yeah, Dr. Gray's guilty because he bought an illegal handgun. We're past that side of things, right? But the key thing to know about this is that it changes the perspective. It changes this shit. Because the argument is, oh, he was in a locked room with Maya got him with the knife, took his gun, blew his head off. That's the argument from the court. And the prosecution. The prosecution also acknowledging the Curane channeling technique, which implicitly implies that they know Maya was out of her own control. But I go on. But for them to suggest that this was just straightforward murder, right? When we just heard that the victim bought an illegal gun, he bought it 2 days before the incident and then brought it to the place, presumably after not wearing it and not using it for those 2 days he had it in his possession. He then, whilst in this locked room, you know, for whatever reason, whatever situation happens, pops off a couple shots. Or fires off one shot because the man's never heard of the 21-foot rule in his life. Like, what are we doing, chat? Why are we in court? This is a waste of everyone's fucking time. Give Gumshoe, like, a compensation package and tell him to get the fuck out. Okay. But anyway, hi, hello Cyber, how are you? I'm Beefers, also known as Beefcake or Beefalicious. And hi, welcome to the stream. How are you? Um, this is a we're currently playing, as you can probably tell from the crash outs, Phoenix Wright, and yeah, I stream Monday to Friday. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is Beavers After Dark, which is this. Tuesday and Thursday we stream in the morning. Additionally, as well, this is a safe space for homies who are neurospicy. Obviously, the baseline there is autism and ADHD, and it's also a safe space for the homies who are LGBTQ. I myself am bipen, so welcome to the stream. How are you? Greetings. So basically, self-defense as well as possession. Nah, not even. Why are we in court? Why are you in this court specifically? Yeah, like, I mean, I fucking hate the judge. I fucking despise the judge of this court, but he's what we've got, so, you know, fuck it. Why did Dr. Gray bring a gun? This is what should have been asked a while ago. He was taking precautions against something. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. I fired and I missed. So he's saying that the bullet hole in this costume was made then. But yeah, that's what I think. The two of them were already fighting when the shot was fired. Really? Doubt. There are two scenarios, chat, for this bullet hole in the folding screen scenario. One, the shot came from Dr. Gray. He fires through the sleeve of the robe, and it goes in a downward angle into the folding screen behind Maya. That's plausibility or theory number one. Theory numero dos is that the shooter fires upwards from behind the folding screen, goes through Maya's sleeve, and hits Dr. Gray in the schnoz. It's one or the other. It's either a shot flying through the sleeve downwards into the folding screen, or it's fired upwards through the folding screen, then through the sleeve. Those are the two scenarios I can see. They were already fighting when the shot was fired. But you weren't hurt. So am I. The defendant, I swear Phoenix is the only reasonable one for all the wrong reasons, yes. Sips beer, points finger, incompetent. Picked up the opening, took the victim's gun and ended it. Maya has never fired a gun before in her life. True. The victim had already taken off the safety off, even an amateur like you can fire it just by pulling the trigger. Okay. Now do you understand? Von Karma's logic is perfect? Yes, because that's what happened to your fucking dad. His logic was perfect. This testimony certainly makes us look very bad, but there's got to be a contradiction there somewhere. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back. Let's have a check of stuff, just to be sure. To be fair, it was perfect. The parrot, I love. Yes, yes, that was a great case. The fucking parrot, yes. That parrot was quite the witness to call. It was so good. Stand in the chest, then shot point blank gunpowder residue there. There's Maya's and his fingerprints. Murder weapon, small fruit knife belongs to the. There's Maya's fingerprints. Close. fired and then I missed. Sorry, chat, on me. Yep. Victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. Defender then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. Two were fighting. The victim took out his gun. While they were fighting, he pulled out his gun. While they were fighting. Stabbed by Maya, pulls out his gun, fires, misses. Second patients died. Malpractice. 8 inches off the ground. Looks like a bullet hole. There's Maya. There's Gray. Yep. Okay. Stabbed in the chest. Shot point blank. Ah, get fucked, bots. It's never a stream without a bit of bot culling. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. Defender then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun and ended it. Right. Let's have a think, chat. Defender picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun and ended it. Okay. Victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. Two fighting, victim took out his gun. Why? Why would you do that, though? Whether it's to your height.
Objection!
I think there was such a thing as reasoning. It's not a challenge, not. That's his build. Defender could have easily been a match with the doctor. Oh, imperfect. Right. Victim used last wish to fight back. Yeah, has argued that. I'll try to fight, took out his gun. Yeah. Victim took a shot because it was too close, he missed. Love how Phoenix is like, not now, Your Honor, not now, yeah. Oh, right, hold on, let's...
Objection!
No, it's not that. Okay, but why? Why would you stab him in the chest? like, what reason would Maya have to do that? Like, are we saying it's Maya who did it, or are we acknowledging that she was, you know, that it was possessed Maya, in which case she's not in control of herself? Christ, 2 shots. Ethan took a shot because they were too close, he missed. There we go. I think I've got it sussed. Missing the tiny hole on this costume will be the prosecution's undoing. I mean, I guess it makes some sense now that I think about it. Maya was the one who channeled the murderer, thus being the catalyst for the murder in the first place. Okay. But here's the thing, right? Like, here's the thing, right? Maya channeled the nurse, yes. However, nobody was expecting a murder. What the expectation was that the doc would talk to the spirit of the nurse to get her testimony that, you know, it was a car accident. I think is what they wanted to get a conclusive thing to say. It was a car accident. That's why she died, and that she was responsible for the 14 what do you call it, dead patients at his hospital, right? Her rocking up and murdering the guy is unfortunate, but it's out of Maya's hands because we, including Maya, didn't know that she would do that, you know? And again, it's Maya's body, transformed, mind you, transformed, that may have done the murdering, but it wasn't Maya's will that did it. It was the will of the nurse. Maya, mentally and, like, spiritually, was elsewhere. So, you could only blame Maya from a physical perspective. Someone needs to be arrested. You can't exactly arrest a dead person. Exactly. Which is why this should be thrown out. This case should be thrown out. Because Maya didn't do this. The nurse did, and she's already dead. So the most you can do is just say, yeah, the nurse from beyond the grave, because that's what the prosecution itself acknowledges, you know, acted out, killed Gray, and, you know, maliciously used innocent Maya's body to help commit the murder. Maya herself, elsewhere. Maya's fucking gone. So, there's really no one to arrest. Because if you arrest Maya, that's essentially just arresting an innocent person just because essentially she was there. It was her body that did the murdering, but it wasn't her will, and that's what matters. To arrest Maya for this murder would be to arrest an innocent person. The whole thing should be thrown out. This little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony. You act as if the defense attorneys are against that. Sorry, chat, 1 second. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. You said the two of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun point blank. If that were true, then where is the gunpowder burn on the costume? Gunpowder burn? This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. But there is not a single trace of gunpowder burn on the costume. Oh, okay, interesting. So the bullet passed through, but it wasn't close enough for a powder burn, which means the bullet had already left the barrel and was already in flight, a fair distance enough for powder burn not to be a factor. That is a very good point. And what exactly does this mean? It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other.
Objection!
I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You think you can punch a hole in my logic with that? With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can Oh, give me strength. Then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. In the middle of their fight, the victim pushed the defendant away, and it was then, when they were separated, that he fired. How was that?
Objection!
As if that was even possible. According to the testimony, the wound from the stabbing was very severe. The victim would not have had the strength to push the defendant very far after that. True. We've got her on the ropes, chat. Well then. The defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have put some space between the doctor and herself. And then, while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took his shot. That does make an awful lot of sense. He has a point. She's just too annoyed and too much of a Von Karma to care. Yeah, that's so fucking true. So what she's arguing, and let's think this through. So she's arguing, Maya stabs the doc. Maya pushes the doc away to give herself more room to strike again? Stab. Push away. That doesn't make sense. At this point, I'm with the judge. Just go along with whatever she says and not to not get whipped. Hell no, I refuse. I refuse. First of all, she shouldn't have that whip anyway. That's immediate, like getting kicked out of court for that bullshit, but Von Karmas or whatever. But I can't. I'll be honest, chat. I'm not seeing the logic in her telling, right? Whip me harder. Wait, what? Thank you, Teg. Yeah, I'm not seeing. Because think about it, right? Let's say you just stab someone, right? Cold blood, going for the kill, you stab someone in the chest. When you pull the knife out of them, do you then push them away to get ready to stab again? Like, no. You keep them close to you so you can go in for another. Like, that doesn't make sense. No, absolutely not. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Why would you push somebody away when you've stabbed them? Like, I mean, depends. Does it? I mean, I've never stabbed anyone, but it doesn't sound very plausible, because, like, hold on. That's the knife. It's a fucking fruit knife. It's tiny. Like, depends how close. You can't pull the knife out, then push them away to pull out and stab. I mean... Have you ever seen a prison shanking? You ever seen a prison shanking before? The technique on that one, which I know that's not what... Which I know, obviously, they literally did, like, one stab and that's it. Yes? Yeah, okay, yeah. So, like, the technique on a prison shanking is you keep them close and you go in for, like, repeated ones. Like, you barely pull the knife back enough and then go in again, like, do. You know? Like... You know, you don't... The only thing I can think of, right, for pushing somebody away after you've stabbed them is, like, the most, like, wide-armed going in for big swings type shit. And it's like, I did 4 months as a screw for a shop. Oh, there you go then. Like... But yeah, like I can only like if they're like far, if like you'd only be going for them big swings. Like fucking, like you're a fucking robot or some shit. Like no, you stab someone, you pull the knife out, and then you go in again. Like you don't need to push somebody away. You're not wielding a fucking sword. It's a fruit knife. Like no, absolutely not. I refuse. I refuse, chat. To be fair, if you're trying to kill with a knife, you stab, twist, and pull. You can do, sure. But like, do you really need to put? Like, think about it this way, right? Think about it this way. Do you really need to push somebody away for that? Like, think about it. Like, let me just try and angle myself because of the camera. So you stab, and then all you have to do is just bring your arm back. Like, you don't stab, push the person, and then go again. You just stab and then just pull back. Like, it's on you. It's on your motion, your body. You either just do the arm or you twist at the hip and do it and then twist back. You know? You're not stuck. Like, you're not stuck in place. You're not frozen. You don't stab and then like give them a push. Like no, no, absolutely not. No, you don't need to push somebody away after you stab them. Just pull your arm back and go in again. You know. When you're cutting food on your plate, do you like give it one good slice and then push your plate away? No, you move your arm. Like, so. No, like in this situation, she wouldn't have like stabbed him and then pushed him away to get him off the knife. She can just move her body and her arm. Like no. To see where the floor is, show me something that contradicts my explanation. There'll be a snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow. And when she was about to strike, the doctor took his shot. Also, you don't need to necessarily twist. You can just go in for a stab and just pull it back. Wait, you aren't locked in place? Last time I stabbed someone, I had to play a button mashing QTE to pull the knife out. The twist rips open the wound channel. It does, yes, absolutely. It absolutely does. But I'm just saying, like, if we're getting hypothetical on this shit, like, we can also hypothesize and think about, stab, pull back, or stab, twist, and pull back. But either way, even if you twist, you know what you can do? Just move your arm back. Or twist your hip and move your arm back. Like, if you stab and twist, you don't need to then push them off the blade. You can just retract the knife using your own body, Like, no, I don't buy the whole, like, oh yeah, she pushed to give him some space. Fuck off. Absolutely not. What if they've got a grip on your arm, though? Did Dr. Grey have a grip on her arm? Because I don't think he would have. From what we're hearing, there was a stab. I don't know, being facetious now. Fuck off, Tank. You sneaky bitch. stabbed in the chest, shot at point blank. Prosecutor von Kahn's explanation and this piece of evidence. Could it be this, perhaps? Okay, so it's not the size of the room. It's not that either. See, I don't get this. If they are really going to suggest and be like, oh yeah, she needed room for the stab, that's stupid. It's a fucking fruit knife. You don't need distance for a fucking fruit knife. Okay, so it's not that either. Not that either. Okay, so do I not have anything then to contradict the idea that they needed space? Is there really nothing? Oh, it's the, yeah. It's your piece of evidence that destroys your logic. I would like to point the court's attention to the hole in the folding screen. Who? What? Where? Are these two really that clueless? I can excuse the judge for at least one thing. He's old. If he's old and he's like this, that means he's senile and therefore not fit for duty. The bullet went through the defendant's sleeve first, then the folding screen. It passed through at the height of approximately 8 inches off the ground, which means... when the shot was fired, Maya, I mean the defendant, was not getting ready to strike, but was squatting. There we go. It was one or the other. Please look at this diagram of the crime scene. The victim, Dr. Gray, was here when he fired the shot, and the bullet hole hit this folding screen. It hit this location about 8 inches off the ground. At this time, the defendant was in this area. Maya was around... Oh, was it? She was around here. Somewhere around here. Okay, so does that mean that Maya was over here then? Was she over here? Okay, hold on, chat. I'm going to just do a thing real quick. Bear with me. Just gonna run through this real quick. There we go. Right, now I can save. Now we're a bit closer. There we go. Here we go. Just double check. This is like to be sure. Right, look at this diagram. The victim here. Fire the shot, and the bullet hit here. Hit this location around 8 inches off the ground. At the time, the defendant was in this area. Can I save here, actually? No, I can't, right. Was Maya over here? She wasn't here. She wasn't over there. Was she like here? Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, where is she meant to be then? Because if he's fired in this direction and she's not anywhere over here, then where the fuck is she? Like, is she on the complete other side? Wouldn't she be on him at that point? Because she's, you know, stabbing him? Hold on. That's not what, I don't think that's what we're trying to prove. We're trying to prove, like... Hold on. Yeah, I believe what we're trying to prove... That would ruin our case, though, yeah? Yeah, like, we're trying to prove that he drew the gun first, and, you know... and made moves on Maya instead of Maya attacking. Like, that's what we're trying to prove here. We're trying to prove that Maya was just doing her own thing when he drew the gun. That would ruin our case, though, yeah? Right, hold on. Bear with me, chat. I just need to do a thing real quick. Because this is it's doing that thing again where it's annoying me. So bear with me, chat. Right, hold on. Just... over here? No, it's not that one. Hold on, chat. This is annoying me. I think I vaguely remember. Lol. Right, hold on. 1 second. Over... hold on. Here? Is that it? Oh, fuck's sake. Does it want me to be, like, really ultra-specific? Because I'm, like... hold on. Hold on, chat. Hi, Malk. Welcome back. Sigh. Here? There? Behind the folding screen. Victim and his attacker were fighting, were they not? Then what would the attacker be doing all the way back there? Besides which, if the attacker was behind the folding screen, then how could the victim even know where to shoot? It's obviously impossible. Behind... Okay, so we were all wrong, chat. We were all fucking wrong. Except maybe Frog. Frog it might be on it. Fucking... Behind the folding screen. So not in front of it, where Maya would have been, and he draws his pistol to strike first. Behind... Okay. I am confused, chat. I am officially confused. I mean, I've seen it before, so that doesn't count. Okay, so okay. So you've seen it before, Frogget, okay, and Zonasa, you remembered it, okay. Yeah, I guess so. Right? Now I should focus on where Maya was. Okay, so it's not behind the screen or something. Hold on, was it here? Okay, chat, I'm confused. I have no idea what the fuck's going on now. Chat, I'm lost. I'm actually for real lost. I have no idea what's happening now. Do you want the answer? I'll take a answer for where it is at this point, because I'm like tagging this shit all over the place and I'm so confused. I genuinely don't have a fucking clue now. I like there are no rules, man, we're lost. Yeah, honestly, yeah. Honestly, yeah. I've no fucking clue. Maybe the box in front here? Hold on. Okay, so I'll just double check something. Yeah, okay, yeah, so that does in fact, like, be wrong, noted, right, yeah, so really starting. The one in the middle, I think, but it's been a couple of years. Right, hold on then, chat. So, here? No, still wrong. Okay, I'm really confused. I don't get it, because they just said that was wrong. Okay, so behind the folding screen is wrong. Where the fuck is it meant? Hold on, chat. Hold on. I'm gonna have to go on YouTube. This is fucking shit. This is actually shenanigans. The way down. Hold on. Justice for all. Trial. give me a second, Chad. I need to Google this. This is just fucking. Da, 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 da. Right, chat, we're back. Let's try it again. So it's... Hold on, let me just double check. Chat. Right, hold on then, chat. It's over here? Fucking hell, that was... How ultra-specific do you need me to be, game? Fucking hell. That was like, what, the exact fucking pixel as well? Fucking Jesus Christ. Yeah, we clicked the box, but we clicked the wrong corner of the box, I guess. Fucking Phoenix Wright. This is the Phoenix Wright forcing you down the funnel thing again, but like doubled down. It's like you clicked the box, but it was the wrong corner. Pick the other corner, otherwise you're wrong. Fucking Jesus Christ. Right, we're back on track for now. The other defendant was close to the ground based on the height of the bullet hole, but how can you gauge the distance from that? Isn't it possible the defendant was standing much closer to the victim? Reach out. That's impossible. Okay, so I really did remember correctly. Yeah, fucking this is... I never want to do that again. Like, that was ultra specific and, like, to a stupid degree. A lot of people should know the answer to that question. Ms. Von Karma. If she was shot from somewhere closer, there would be gunpowder burns present. However, there is nothing of the sort around the bullet hole of this costume. True. Curse you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. It has now been proven that the defendant was standing a ways from the victim when she was shot at. But do you think that this has changed the defendant's situation? I'm gonna save that. I mean, surely it does change the situation, right? Surely it changes it to the victim fired first and then Maya acted in self-defense. This changes everything. The prosecution has claimed that the defendant was aiming to kill by stabbing. If that were true, delivering the final strike with the knife would be ideal. However, where and what was the defendant doing at the time? Squatting all the way by the folding screen. Exactly. If Maya Fey was the real murderer, why would she be by the folding screen instead of preparing to strike? Upon further consideration, it does make very little sense. To be a reason. Thank you, Gumshoe. Figuring things out and proving the logic behind everything is your job. Poor Gumshoe. With this, the rest of the trial should be in the... Here we go! Time to have the rug pulled from under us, chat. the last radius of disaster. Such a smart man, Mr. Phoenix, right? To think that you've been able to take a completely hopeless case to this point. Now I know why Papa had a tough time with you. You amuse me. Oh my. Detective, how dare you damage my perfect logic? You can start repairing your standing by first removing that 3-strand goatee. Malk, she shit-talking gumshoe's facial hair. And rest assured, your punishment will come later. I think I've had all I can take of the detective's face. I think it's time to call in the next witness. It's gotta be Lotta. Okay. Lotta who took pictures, so we'll see what happens there. Call, take a 5-minute recess. Oh, thank God. It should have been me, not him. After we reconvene, we will hear from the next witness. Oh, everybody take a deep breath of relief. Oh, go, crack in the neck. Right, chat, everybody just have a deep breath. Chill out for a moment. Relax. We fucking got through the stress of it, Jesus. That was effort. That was effort. Oh, God. That's better. Oh, that was fucking Jesus Christ. Show us where Maya was, but the specific pixel where she was standing. Fucking Jesus Christ, Phoenix, right? Oh. Do you want to point out the very specific square fuck, I what it's called now, square centimeter or whatever of where Kennedy got his head blown off as well? Like, fucking Jesus. Absolute fucking shenanigans of it. Chat. The absolute shenanigans. Alright then. June 21st. 11:37. Yeah, that was BS, lol. On God, frog it, on God. 11:37 AM, District Court, Defendant Lobby Numero 3. Phew, that was a close one. No, you were giving it your all to defend me. Could feel the death penalty hanging in the air. Felt like I was pretty close to dying myself. Yeah, fucking not the only one. It's Pearl! It's our sweet child! Thank you, Jesus. You were wonderful out there? Yes, we were. You listened carefully, made theories, and tricked everyone into believing you. Tricked. Must be the lawyer's secret technique. Is the next witness who I think it is? Yep, pretty sure it's Lotta Hart. You promised you'd save me. If you lose, me and my sister's ghost will come after you and haunt you. Okay, Mystic Mia. Hold on, chat. There we go. Need to get comfy. There we go. Remember her, Pearly? My sister was a super good lawyer. She was also Nick's teacher. Oh. I didn't know that. Pearl is such a sweetheart, chat. Deep breath, chat. Thanks for the vote of confidence, Maya. Oh, God. District Court, numero dos. There we go. The court will now reconvene. Now, the first order of... Oh, for God's sake, not again, woman! I don't want to hear it, old man. After I call my witness to sit there... Judge, hold her in contempt. Give her a mark against her name for that. Like, you didn't do it with Von Karma. Do it to her. Like, hold her in contempt. Jesus Christ. Bring in the photographer who witnessed the channeling. Witness your name and occupation, if you please. Hey Phoenix, how you doing? Why does she still have the whip, sir? We tried, she's too strong. He's into it, you cannot tell me otherwise. Oh, Jesus. Try that, it still looks like we have a choice, you know. Don't whip Lotta Hart, she's lovely. Can't be out here whipping Lotta Hart, she's a delight. I declare, what in tarnation? This here is violence against my fair self. That's fine! No need for foolish outcries from foolishly foolish fools. Pick up a fucking thesaurus, please. And just hurry up and testify about what happened on the day of the murder. This game's humor is top notch, though. Despite oh yeah, absolutely. Listen, like when you play a game where just like one of the characters is called Dustin Prince, you know you've got gold. I haven't even got to say my name and job yet. Sorry, chat. Messages again. Name's Lotta Hart, paranormal photographer, and I'm here to testify. Testify, sister! Now let's all be one big happy family, okay? Here we go, chat. Pardon me, I apologise for this. Just talks amongst yourselves for now, I'm just sending a message. Only the doc and the defendant went into the channeling chamber, correct? We were waiting outside the door, and then bang, we hear this gunshot. Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down, and we rushed into the room. Inside was the dead victim, and the defendant waving a pistol around. Swear other than those two, there was no one else in the room. Right. And did you take a picture of the scene right after the murder took place? Reckon course. Short for you reckon? Course I did. Does it look like I care? Just hurry up and show your picture to the court. Jesus, woman. See, here's the picture. Right, let's have a look at the scene. Oh, okay, interesting. Very, very interesting. So there's the shrine, there's our dead men. There's Maya. But Maya's on the wrong side of the room. Hold on, so he's there. So, hold on. So she would have been on that side. He draws gun. Misses. They get into a kerfuffle. Stabs him. Bit more of a kerfuffle. Takes the gun, blows his head off. So why is she on the other side of the room unless during the kerfuffle, hypothetically, they spun? Certainly seeing that all the defendant and the victim were in that room. Picture taken at the scene of the murder. So is that done me? We'll clear all doubt about Maya through this cross-examination. Just watch me. Damn straight! Right, we're going to save as we do chat. So all the doc and the defendant went into the channeling chamber. Outside, I hear a gunshot. The lawyer broke down, rushed into the room. Inside, the detective laid the pistol. Sure, it was the defendant, Maya Fey. Sure, I'm sure. Body seems awfully confident in her testimony. Press the harder just for now. Remember what you said when we broke into the room. There's our dead man. I was murdered. Yep. I suppose we're snapping up shots. What's going on here? This girl, is she Maya? Yep, that's true. She did question that. She didn't say for sure that it was Maya. When you saw the murderer at the time, you couldn't even tell if it was Maya Fey or not, am I correct? You are here to present accurate testimony. This shifts things back to my side. For a defense lawyer, your defense is terribly lacking, Mr. Phoenix, right? Think back to when those two enter the channeling chamber. One of those people that entered the chamber was Maya Fey, correct? That's right. I come to a collective conclusion. The person in this picture is most certainly Maya Fey. Like one again. I swear other than those two, no one else in the room. Sure am. That old witch chased us out of the room, so... No one else in there, and you know it. Channeling chamber is very dark on switch left. Behind the folding screen, perhaps? What about behind the folding screen? Did you check back there? Regiven. She's making up words now at this point, chat. You reckon that's a given? Took me a good look around the room once. Ain't no way anyone was hanging behind that folding screen. Given, I mean, I'm having a little difficulty in understanding you. If you would stop saying that such... Oh, Jesus Christ! Was there really all those two that weren't in? Objection! You were there, were you not? You answered that yourself, was it really just the two of them? Okay. At the very beginning, did you witness continue? Good shots. Gunshots a long time ago, so I know. Back in, rush down the door, slam my dead from the way around a pistol. Okay, right, hold on. This is probably just going to be like pedantic, but I just want to check something. Okay, cool. Right, cool. Just wanted to check that. Just wanted to check her saying she heard a gunshot. There wasn't something involving the gun firing twice to kind of, you know, cool. That's fine. Broke down the door, we rushed into the room. There are no issues with Miss Hart's testimony. At the time of the crime, only two people were in the channeling chamber: the victim, Dr. Turner Gray, and the defendant, Maya Fey. The face of the defendant cannot be verified in this picture. However, if we think about the circumstances, it would have to be the defendant. Alright, time to save again, chat. Just gonna double check, just as I like to do, just in case, right? Anything I can present that would prove it's not Maya in the photo. Let's see what I can do, chat. It's plain fool's talk. Your show of support was just great. Right. Please show the court some proof. Here we go, chat. Brace up. Prove to this court that the person in this photo is Maya Fey. Or is not Maya Fey. Okay, it's not going to be any of them. Okay, so it's not the actual channeling chamber. Just gonna save that. Right. There's a channeling chamber, yeah, that's all one thing.
Objection!
It's not that either. It's not the key. Could it be this?
Objection!
No, it it's fucking not. Okay, so it's not the robe either. Oh, we're another one of these moments, chat. I do apologize for my lack of intelligence. Prove to this court that the person in this photo is not Maya Fey. There's our guy. Here's the supposed Maya. Chat, can I pass a theory past you? Chat, can I run a theory past you? What do we think? Like, who's in? Because here's my thing, right? So we need to prove that this isn't Maya, right? Maya doesn't have eyelashes, does she? Like, she has eyelashes, but she doesn't have these going on, does she? Because look, we've got the eyelashes here, right? See those? But if we look at Maya, where is she? Like, look. She doesn't have eyelashes. She's bereft of them. Now, this could just be a stylistic choice. It could just be, like, how they drew it, right? But I don't know. I don't know. But who was there the day of the murder, right? Like, let's think it through. We had like, Morgan was there, but she was with Phoenix and Lotta. So who else was there? Innie. Innie, supposedly, at that time, was zonked out, right? But Innie, let's not forget, is the sister of Mimi. And Innie recommended that the doc go to the channeling place, right? So hypothetically, Innie dresses up in the garb, sneaks in, does something with Maya, I guess, knocks her out, I don't know, goes in disguised as Maya, and then goes to strike the doc, and the other kerfuffle happens, right? Because look, Maya doesn't have, like, eyelashes. So I'm gonna go on a limb, and...
Objection!
Okay, you're right, yeah. It was going out on a limb. Could it be this? And that leads into Innie and Mimi?
Objection!
Okay, so it's not that either. Something that proves that it's not Maya. Shit. I don't know if we have anything, chat. Maybe I shouldn't have saved. I don't think we have any evidence that it wasn't Maya. Maybe. Sorry, chat. My apologies. He's into it. I don't know. What about her clothes? Give it a shot.
Objection!
Not that either. Let's give up for now. Give up. Trying to feel it's on my face. Didn't say anything about giving up. Just tried. Yeah. Oh, for God's sake, not again. Oh, here we go again, chat. Fuck's sake. So I went through all that. And here we fucking go. I hate it when Phoenix Wright does this. I fucking hate it. Here we fucking go again, chat. I hate it when Phoenix Wright does that. Do you have any evidence to present? Like, docks points off you if you don't have any, right? Which I didn't have any. I made, like... And then it's fucking... Oh, God damn it. I hate it when Phoenix Wright does this. Guess the clothes are a bit... Yeah, I fucking bet Pearl's clothes are a bit small. Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus, I forgot about this. Yeah, fucking, I had no idea about this. Fucking, right, here we go. Come on then. Taking away every advantage, your archer is still in your hand. Think carefully once more. Okay. I'd like to forget about this again, Lamau. This puzzle. Question what on more time next. Don't know if she's doing it unconsciously on purpose. You're not testifying truthfully. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fucking hell. Phoenix, I hate it when you do this to me for the sake of the drama. It's so very frustrating to think that I fucking, like, shagged it and the game's like, oh, but actually, if you see here, here's our psychic bullshit again. Like, oh my god, it's so tiring sometimes when it does that. There's some place to go after this. Alright, Miss Hart, hurry up and give it to another testimony. Somehow. God, I was weird. I got through to him. Does no one else acknowledge that Pearl turned into Mia? Yeah, we've had this conversation before, Frogget. When Maya did it, in the first Phoenix Wright game where she turns into Mia in the middle of the courtroom, and Like, and like, and this isn't this isn't a case of like Phoenix Wright is the only one who can see this. Like this is a thing everyone else can see. Everyone else should be able to see that Pearls, the fucking what 8-year-old, just turned into a fully grown woman, like in the middle of the courtroom. Like everybody was able to see that. But yes, no, I don't believe it's acknowledged. No, I don't believe it's a thing that they really address. Which, by the way, going on like a broken record, if again the prosecution has acknowledged that the Curane channeling technique changes the physical form of the person, as we've just seen with fucking Pearl turning into, you know, a fully grown woman. Additionally, as well, as a part of that channeling technique, the will of the channeler takes a back seat to the spirit. You know? Like, Pearl isn't the one giving us all this advice, it's Mia. Mia has taken over the body. So I say again, if the prosecution acknowledges that the technique exists, then they also have to acknowledge that it wasn't Maya in control of her body when the murder happened. You know? It would have been the nurse doing it. Maya wouldn't have been in control. It's Maya's body, but it's not her will, and the will is the important part in this. So they'd, again, be sentencing an innocent woman to death. It doesn't make sense. When I broke into the room, all I could focus on was Maya. I was kind of scared of the dead body, so I didn't get a good look at it. Mr. Wright, who is the woman next to you? Why does she look like the victim from a former case I judged? And also would have looked like a former lawyer he would have worked with. I'm really bad when it comes to blood and ghosts and stuff. I still managed to point my camera at Maya and get a shot. Nothing sounds different from before. Some parts of her testimony are very vague. I should press on those sections. Amuse me with your useless questions, Mr. Felix Wright. I'm waiting. Witness's account, part dose. When we broke into that room, all I could focus on was Maya. Scared of blood and dead body, so I didn't get a good look at it. Two, right? 2 shots. There it is. You took 2 shots. Only one has been submitted into evidence. Ms. Hart, where is the other picture you have been withholding? Yep. There it is. Got it all wrong. It's not me. I didn't mean anything bad. I know I can be a little mean, but I ain't evil. At least she knows herself, true. And why have you not shown this other picture to the court yet? Rescue woman. Oh, really? Interesting. Von Karma. Ms. Von Karma, you're hiding critical evidence. Unforgivable, Von Karma. Damn straight. Suppressing evidence like this, you're as bad as your father. On God, on God. You're just going to save, Chet. See, I would leave it to the judge, but the man is useless. The defense asks that the prosecutor on Karma be held in... Fucking finally! Finally it is mentioned once again. Hold these people in contempt of court. It has been needed for so much. Suddenly it exists. Contempt of court. Yes, you, the woman whipping people. myself to this court. I thought this picture was not important and thus felt no need to submit it, that's all. Pictures were more or less the same, so I bothered with the second. There's much more trouble than it's worth me to submit this as evidence. To see it that badly, I'll submit it. Right, go. In what fucking world is that Maya? In what universe, in what world is that Maya? Second picture the witness took that day of the scene of the crime. The important point here is the person in the picture. That's most. Yep, thank you. That's not Maya Fey. And also, in what world do those two pictures look almost the same? Exactly, yes. They don't look the same. That's very visibly not fucking Maya. You can plainly see the person in the picture is not Maya Fey. It's not just her face, her whole body has taken on a different appearance. Yep! That somehow, this other person snuck in and traded places with the defendant. Yep. You're correct, Mr. Wright. The person who was inside the channeling chamber was not Maya Fey. Calling in soft. You had better continue to read, Mr. Phoenix, right? Your Honor, I would like for you to take a look at this picture. It's taken yesterday, detention center's visitor's room. This is Mr. Phoenix Wright, the defendant, Maya Fey, during his visit. Hi, Saf. Good to see you too. I will make you play Kingdom Come 3. Kingdom Come 3? No. Crusader Kings 3. I will fuck your wife and kill your son. Just for that, I'm not playing Crusader Kings gamer. Fuck you. She looks this way because she is obviously in the middle of channeling a spirit. I say again. So we acknowledge that the spirit channeling is a thing that can happen, but we don't acknowledge that said spirit inhabiting the body that's being channeled supplants the will of the host. So we acknowledge that spirit channeling does happen, but we don't acknowledge that when the spirit enters the body, it supplants the will of the host body. You can't do that. That's not how that works. You cannot do that, game. That doesn't make sense. You cannot sit there and say, oh, here we see the person doing the spirit channeling. Okay, they've channeled the spirit has taken over the body, the will of the host is gone. You can't do that, game. That doesn't make sense. You cannot sit here and say, we acknowledge that the Curain spirit channeling technique, is a real thing and a thing that happens. You can't say that with one hand and then with the other hand go, oh yeah, but absolutely, this is definitely the same person of the same willpower. Not like, no, that's not how that works. I'm sorry, game. But by acknowledging that in the first place, with regards to this murder case, you've thrown out any possible validity that you can say, oh yeah, Maya is guilty. She's not. It's her body, sure, but it's not her will, and the will is the important part. The will would be, hypothetically, of the dead nurse, and the dead nurse is dead. She is gone. She inhabited the body, killed Dr. Gray, and then left. Maya's body, not Maya's will, so it was not Maya who committed the murder. You can't acknowledge one and then ignore the other, game. I'm sorry, this is awful. This is bullshit writing. You can't do that. Imagine being an appeal court, on this case. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is stupid. This is ridiculous. You can't do that. You can't acknowledge one, but don't acknowledge the other, just for the case of getting guilty. That's not how this works. You can't acknowledge the channeling technique, but not acknowledge that when it happens, the will of the host leaves, and the will of the channeled spirit, like, takes the seat. No. That's not how that works. You can't do that, game. That is stupid. That is wrong. And it is clearly just being done for the sake of drama, and also for the sake of, like, oh, guilty verdict. It's like, no. The moment that happened, I would have slammed my hand on the table and say, okay, Your Honor, so Maya's innocent then. Like, she is innocent. She wasn't driving the car, the dead nurse was, and the dead nurse has been returned to the grave since the spirit channeling was separated by Morgan. Like, no. Like, no, absolutely not. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous, chat. Like, I like Phoenix Wright. I like the game. I liked the first game. I've been liking this one. And whilst it's been annoying, in those cases where it's really funneled me and gone, oh, that doesn't count as contradictory evidence, when it fucking clearly is. This has reached a limit. This has reached a line now of, like, what are we doing? I'm going to keep playing, because I know there's more down the line, and it's good and worth playing. But I have to say, in this instance, the game is being stupid. To be fair, the creator of the game was given much less time to make cases for this game. Okay, I can believe that. I can believe that. And that is a shame, because then you get moments like this, when stuff that is clearly fucking, like, conflicting is so fucking obvious. It's so contradictory and so obvious. She's channeling a spirit, so she looks different. Okay, but because she's channeling a spirit, that's not Maya anymore, which in this instance would mean that's not Maya who did the murder, that was the nurse. Hypothetically. Could be somebody else. We don't know. But, like, you know? It's just... It's annoying. We've got an hour left to stream, and then I'm done. We've got an hour left to stream. The quality definitely gets better for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th games. Jesus. Yeah, we've got an hour left to stream. We're getting through this, but this bit miffed me. It's miffed me, chat. It has miffed me, and we are moving on. This one's rough for sure. Faye is in the state she physically changes into the person she's calling, and that spirit takes over the body. Maya has no consciousness when this shit happens. She doesn't even dream. Ms. Von Karma, a word if I may. Taking pictures of someone during a private visit is illegal. Surely you must know that that picture can't be submitted as evidence. Judge is so ready to accept magic in this courtroom. You fucking better, it exists. Obviously I know this picture is illegal, but I never attempted to submit it as evidence in the first place. From the moment I showed this picture in the courtroom, this case became all mine. After all, this image has now been forever burned into the judge's mind. Something within still cannot believe it. Saying that this person is the defendant Maya Fey. Any way we can prove it's not Maya? I still think, chat, I still think there's a possibility that it could be Innie. But this is miffed me. This is miffed me like you wouldn't believe, chat. Within the picture lies a critical contradiction to all the testimony up until now. Strange in this picture. There's our victim. Gun. There's the gun. Body. Blood there. Blood there. No blood on the center, I guess? This is... Chat, this is gonna look weird. Please forgive me for where I'm clicking, but just... bear with me. Hold on. So they got me in a corner on the whole like body changing thing, and appearance changing things. That's something we can't really roll with. I'm gonna say can't prove it for now, and let's see what happens. Try and find. For the chest. Gray's 2 shots, Myers and Gray's fingerprints, murder weapon, clothes, picture of the murder. Wait a shotgun cocking second. Fuck you, Your Honor. Okay, no, we're not letting that one slide. Absolutely not. Fuck off, game. No. I'm not letting you knock off a little thing for that one. Absolutely not. Fuck off. Respectfully, Your Honor, suck my entire cock. There we go. Direct your attention here to the sleeve. There we go. Something that should be there is missing. Yeah, I thought it was something to do with the clothes. I wasn't I thought it was the bloodstains at first, but yeah. They did say respectfully, Your Honor, so you can't get mad. Thank you, Frogget. Yes, exactly. There was a bullet hole in the sleeve of the defendant's costume. And there it is, it's missing. If that's the case, then it should be in the picture as well. Ms. Von Karma, you intended to hide this valuable piece of evidence? Fucking thank you. It's about time, you useless old coot. I hate the judge. Chat, I will hate the judge for the rest of my life. I do not like the judge. He is dog water at his job. Condescending grin. Ah, here we go again. Just jumping the gun again, I see, Your Honor. I'd like to extend an apology on behalf of those incompetent fools. What do you mean, incompetent fools? Those fools down at the precinct hadn't missed the bullet hole, I would have gotten a report about it. Could not have known this picture was of any value to the case. Yeah, she's bullshitting. She's absolutely bullshitting. Bullet hole, the picture, everything. You can't prove that. But the case is quite fascinating, don't you think? Mm-hmm. That's why I thought the clothes would contradict in the picture earlier. Don't need to worry. If you must assign a penalty, I'll personally make sure that detective... She's fucking sliding the penalty to Gumshoe. That's bullshit. Great gnashing of teeth at his next salary discussion. It's a very big problem. When the defendant was taken into custody, her costume had a bullet hole in the sleeve. However, from this photo, it would appear that right after the shooting, there was none. The judge is confused by this strange twist of events. He's confused by a lot of things. I think he's confused by the rising of the sun. Oh no, yeah, now poor Gumshoe's gonna be broke by the time of this shit. What's your chance for your Nix? Load all you've got into this one shot. Just gonna save. How many innocent people did she send to jail exactly? Probably a few. There's only one explanation for the contradiction. The picture is a fake, the bullet hole was made later, the shooter is someone else. Ah, get fucked, bots! The defendant's sleeve had a bullet hole in it. However, this person clearly does not, and there can only be one explanation. The person who shot Dr. Gray was not the defendant, but a different person altogether. Mm-hmm. If order is not restored, I will suspend this trial. She can't do that. Never mind. Never mind. I'm a fucking... Jesus. Defense argument is a complete mess. Failed to see how plea on lightness. The one who said it was only one of the two of them that entered the room. You are lying, I swear that my wit will be the last thing you see. Your Honor, that was a threat in court. Fucking give her contempt. Am I a scary someone, aren't you saying? Anything else then, honest? Now riddle me this, Mr. Phoenix, right? Where did the defendant vanish to? And where did this other woman appear from? That's in this picture is not the defendant. Then this poses two very big questions. First, where did the defendant vanish to? And second, where did this person come from? Just gonna save again. Prove something like this. Or do you think you have enough you to turn things around? Always turn things around, change your perspective. Where did this intruder appear from, and where did Maya disappear to? What if before we broke in, the third person was already in the room? What if Maya had left that room somehow? I think what happened before we forced our into the chamber was the third person that entered it. Maya left the room. Something I can't explain yet. Ooh, options, 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 chat. Oh, pardon me, good heavens. Sorry about that. So Maya had left the room. The third person had entered it. I hate save scumming this much, but it's clearly necessary. Let's present some evidence. Proof that there was someone else in the room before the murder took place. Diagram of knife. Okay. Diagram of the channeling chamber. What about the key? Hey, thank you, bestie. Oh, strip check, thank you as well. I think it is the court that should be signing at you. Son of a bitch. I swear to God, if the game wants to hit me with something I can't explain yet, I'm gonna be annoyed. Third person had entered. Maya had left the room, something I can't explain yet. See, if I go with something I can't explain yet, I feel like the court is going to just beat the shit out of me, because you can't do that. Like, you can't just be there like, oh yeah, I think something else happened, can't explain it yet though, Your Honor. Like, no, you have to have something. Old key, green jewel, set thing, just on the ground. Not that. Okay, hold on. I'm going to check real quick. I want to check and see what happens if I go with something I can't explain yet. Can't. There's explanation. Yeah, okay, yeah. So, yeah. Fucking... I fucking hate when the game does that. Just get rid of the third option. Just erase it. Like, get rid of it. It's a waste of time. If picking something I can't explain yet, like, just circles back to this, then just get rid of it. So Maya had left the room, somebody had entered the room, right? So if Maya had entered the room... you have to involve the key. Or if Maya had, yeah, if Maya had left the room. But we know she didn't, we know, like... so as we're saying, like, she left the room whilst we were doing things. Is it this? maybe? Okay, so it's not that either. Oh, frustrations, chat. Frustrations abound. Right, hold on. Maya left the room. Key? Do you remember this key? Channeling chamber key. Channeling started Maya locked the door from the inside with that. So we couldn't get in. That's the only key, only roll. I'm afraid to ask, but why is that key currently in your possession? If Maya Fey locked herself in, then the key should have been with her. However, she did not have the key at the time of her arrest. I got this as a present from a certain little girl. Whee! Shut up, Pearl. And that little girl was nowhere near the crime scene at the time. It's preposterous. This means that Maya Fey must have left the room. If she had not, then I would not be holding this key you see before you. Deep breaths, chat. We're to an impasse. This picture has clearly captured the face of the murderer. Is this person the defendant or not? The defense is arguing that this person is not the defendant. Furthermore, as proof, this key has been submitted as evidence. Ms. Von Karma? At this point in time, a verdict on the defendant's guilt is not possible. How is there a floor by perfect case? Don't think you've won yet, Felix writes. I am a prodigy. I have never lost a case. You're gonna! What I have to do, I'll get my guilty verdict. If you would like to continue, do so in the lobby. Court will reconvene tomorrow at 10 AM. That is all. Court is adjourned. Whee! Go. Deep breaths, chat. June 21st, 1:32 PM, District Court Defendant Lobby number 2S. You summoned my sis. Felt I had no choice. I knew you were special, did you know? I know you're trying really hard and all, but I really don't remember ever leaving that room. I don't think that a third person could have gone into that room. At least we have until tomorrow to figure things out. I envy the two of you. Do you think you could take Pearly back home? Yes, absolutely. We will ensure the safety of the child. You ready to go buy some tickets? Yeah, let's not forget she walked an entire... How the heck can she still be a prosecutor if she clearly only cares about getting a guilty verdict, not what actually happened? Thank you, Zonessa! Fucking thank you! I have been saying the exact same thing since the start, since we first encountered Edgeworth on the fucking, like, Steel Samurai case. I've been saying this. I have been saying this the whole time. Thank you, Zonasa. Like, How can these people work as true arbiters of the law if, when presented with the truth, or what's leaning towards the truth, they don't care? I've said it about Edgeworth, I said it about the first Von Karma, I will say it about this Von Karma. They don't care about truth and justice, they only care about the guilty verdict. Which means that regardless of any which means that if all they care about is a guilty verdict, that means they don't care about evidence, that means they don't care about how things operate in court, that means they don't care about testimony, that means they will do anything and blur anything and sway anything and ignore anything or even just make shit up. Well, actually, they've not made shit up. I think that's the one thing they've actually not done is blatantly make shit up. They've just instead tried to hide stuff. But yeah, how can these people be arbiters of justice and getting the right person convicted if all they want is a guilty verdict? Because if all you want is a guilty verdict, then all you do is just hammer nails until all you do is just hammer nails until it's right, there we go. The defense can't prove anything. Guilty, off to the fucking gas chamber or whatever. It's so annoying. It is so frustrating, and I like Phoenix Wright. I've been enjoying Phoenix Wright, but holy shit! Since I first met Edgeworth, in all these cases, and then Von Karma, and then this Von Karma, it's just been dog, how can you actually get any justice done if all you care about is the guilty verdict? The answer is you don't. You don't get the real killers. You don't get the real thieves. You don't get the real murderers. All you do is just send whoever's convenient on trial to prison or to execution. It's not real justice. They can fight hard, absolutely. They can fight hard to try and prove that the defendant is guilty, but at a certain point, if Phoenix Wright, as the defense, is able to put together enough reasonable doubt, right? Or just straight up has enough evidence and testimony and contradiction to be hey, it's looking like that this defendant didn't do it, then at a certain point, the prosecution just goes, Your Honor, I resign from the case. Your Honor, I've got nothing. I leave. You don't keep fighting until you get the guilty verdict. If it's looking more and more like the defense has a strong case and the defense has, solid shit, the prosecution doesn't keep going just to get some bit of guilty verdict. The prosecution goes, we have nothing or we don't have enough, therefore we are done. It's so frustrating. It's so annoying. It's you don't care about justice. You don't care about truth. You don't care about any of it. You just care about the guilty verdict. It's why I'm glad Edgeworth is gone. Edgeworth is fucked off. Edgy Poo does actually change in that regard. Good! Because his whole thing was, oh yeah, the defense defends criminals. I care about truth and justice. Well, clearly not if all you do is go after the guilty verdict. Clearly you don't care about truth and justice if all you're doing is just going for the guilty verdict. I'm glad Edgeworth has fucked off to Soul Search or whatever. It's so fucking... It's so frustrating. It's so, annoying. To be fair, the games are meant to be dramatic and not realistic, but the writing is a bit infuriating at times. Yeah, that's the thing. That is 100% the thing, Zonasa. I know that, this game's doing shit for plot. I know this game is doing shit for stakes. I know this game is doing shit for the drama. This isn't a realistic courtroom at all. You're more of a detective than an actual fucking defense lawyer. Given the fact you're wandering around personally finding evidence. Not realistic at all. However, you have really hit the nail on the head by saying the writing is infuriating at times. Because it is. It is so incredibly infuriating sometimes. Prime example is when they were talking about the Edgeworth case and young 10-year-old Edgeworth in an elevator, and they were and like in that instance, it was like Edgeworth was a kid, the elevator was broken. There was a dude in the elevator that was suffering from oxygen deprivation and was going a bit haywire. And it's like Edgeworth throws a gun to try and get the dude to stop. Gun goes off, which is that was the theory at the time. Was that gun goes off and it kills his dad. And like the people in the courtroom were like, "Oh yeah, that's Edgeworth committing murder." No, that's no. I'm sorry, no. That's not Edgeworth committing murder. That is a minor acting, trying to act in the self-defense of his dad, and an accident happening. At best, manslaughter. Can't do anything about it though, cause he's a minor. Like sometimes, like, like I fully accept that the game is being dramatic and it's not being realistic. I accept that. It's fucking Phoenix Wright. But you are so incredibly correct when you say the writing is infuriating at times, because it really is. It is so infuriating at times. Like most often it's the judge, because the judge is shit at his job. Like just ah June 21st, 3:24 p.m. Korean Village. I honestly don't think I've crashed out like as much with other games as I have with this. Like I think Phoenix Wright has made me crash out the most, and not in an angry way, just in like a frustrated way. Like I'm not angry at Phoenix Wright. I'm not like pissed off at it, but I am frustrated at it. I'm frustrated at what it does for the plot sometimes. You know, like it's so frustrating. Oh, pardon me. Big deep breaths. I'm going to come and look into a few things here today anyway. Sums it up quite well. I'm glad you agree. I'm glad you agree so much. Mystic Maya didn't kill that nice man. She definitely didn't. Of course, but if she didn't, then someone else did, right? Yup. Oh, I see. I wonder what's wrong. She seems sad. I love her music. Her music's great. Also, chat, I'm going to say again, right? I'm going to put out my stall. Innie did it. I'm calling it now, chat. That's my stall I'm putting out. Innie did it. What is it? Wouldn't happen to know anything about who the murderer is, would you? I might be biased because the third game is by far my favourite in the whole series, but I think the writing in that one is the strongest. I'm glad. I will keep that in mind for when we eventually get to the fucking third game. What are you asking me? I was just thinking earlier. I didn't see anything. If she didn't see anything... during the murder... Where was Pearls? What was she doing? It's key. Just when did she pick this up? I just realised I never asked you what you were doing at the time of the crime. What were you doing when the murder happened? What was I doing? Wasn't doing anything. She's really bad at lying. You can whisper it to me, I won't tell anyone else, I promise. Ah, interesting. You can see through my lie. Can't lie to you, can I, Mr. Nick? Alright, before we do that, we'll just do a bit of higgery-piggery. What did you think? That's why I was really surprised. Never seen so many people before. Mystic Maya looks so small and helpless. Maya's already naturally short, so snobby woman with a ruffly clothes. That's adorable. Did like she already decided that Mystic Maya did it. I'm going to tell her what I think of her tomorrow. What is tomorrow's trial for the world? Bully Mystic Maya. She's the opposite of a lawyer, a prosecutor, so her job is to prove people guilty. They don't care if someone's innocent or they care about it. That's not fucking true. Some of them maybe, but well, no. That is Jesus. Really a prosecutor of the heart side. There's no one like that. All prosecutors are the damn. He might have become a good guy eventually. That's what I was talking about to Mr. Edgeworth. Edgeworth? Damn it, Nick! Fucking find Edgeworth and kiss him on the lips. That was a long time ago, he's not around anymore. He clutched onto his foolish pride two-facedly and died for it. Right. I'm gonna save really quick, chat. Just to see if there's anything I can do to prove I'm not you at the time of the murder. Should I tell you what my secret is? Uh-oh. A mana meditation room. I agree, that one or the Great Ace Attorney. The Great Ace Attorney. Would that be, Frogget, would that be the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles? Like, would that be the very same one? The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles? Because I think I have that one in my library. It's a separate trilogy. Yeah, set in the past. Yeah, I've got that one. Yeah. Yeah, that's the old one. Yeah. To me, the iron on this door is tempered and very solid, but I guess it wasn't strong enough. Phoenix Wright. Yeah, I've got that one. It's currently not installed because we're obviously going through a fucking trilogy of Phoenix Wright. But yeah, I've got that one. Looks like Morgan's here too, but she hasn't noticed me yet. What she's doing looks like she's taking a picture. Holy shit! You see, take a look around. Finally, my chance has come. Waited for this day for so long. Prepare yourself, dear Misty. What in the goddamn fuck? We're just looking at... Could not have turned the child to the music, except my apology. I had a previous engagement, decided to watch over the trainees training today. Well, because the master can't be here with us, you understand. That is why a lowly branch family member such as myself must do this. Leave in this room the whole time, Lotta and I want to go, please. Okay. Let's see more did whoever occurred. Really some new info. I suppose nothing happened in the end, good sir. So played on your homes. The students train every day. Absolutely. They were given a day off the day after the murder, of course. So Maya and Pearls went through this training. And so must I tell you, you understand, good sir. They're to be just as Mystic Maya and Mystic Pearl. Yep, titles. Titles, titles, titles. Mystic Pearl. Isn't that going a bit too far? You can pay in the butt about this. Please remember to watch not what you say, but how good you say it. So the master is Maya's mother, right? Misty. She said Misty earlier when she was staring at a picture. Where is she now? Not sure. 16, 17 years ago, Mystic Misty fell at channeling a certain spirit. After that, she simply disappeared. And in 4 years' time, her name will be forever erased from the village. Maybe. A person who's been away from the village for over 20 years is considered dead. And that is 4 years from now for her. When that happens, a new master will be appointed to Curaine Village. Mystic Maya was supposed to become the next master. However, with this murder, I'm afraid... Chat, Morgan isn't thinking of trying to do a little bit of a coup, is she? Because if Maya goes to prison, then there's no one from the original family to run the joint, which leaves only Morgan and Pearl. Allowing a person like her from the heartland into our country was a bad idea. It's part of this country. Six parts of the Curaine writing. That's even if it was something that occurred during the channeling as a forgivable act. Right. Interesting. Idea how it gets there? That I'm not telling. Yep. What is this feeling I'm getting from it? Feels... interesting. I don't trust Morgan now, chat. I can't lie. My bad. Let me chat. Okay, she's got nothing on that, which is fine. Right, let's get the fuck out of here, chat. Let's move. June 21st, Fame Manor Winding Way. There's no one here. You're wondering about this box. I'm sure this wasn't here before the murder took place. Looks like the box was strong closed, but it's... Damn it, right? Just fucking... It's mostly open, but for a few folded pieces of channeling costumes that's at the bottom. This does increase my suspicion of Eni, because she was in here, and now, you know, box with channeling costumes in it, you know? A and B equals C, if you get my drift, chat. Village, Winding Way, Channeling Chamber. Right, hold on. And is there nothing else I can present to the madam? Okay, so she's got nothing on that one. Pistol, knife, anything? What about this? Anything on this one? Mystic Maya's costume. It's a shame I never thought anything would happen to her, but don't. So I did it. Right, so she's got nothing on that one as well. Right, let's fucking get out of here again, chat. Right. Are you sure you won't talk, wee one? Okay, so there's all that. Oh, hold on. I'm just going to save really quick. Right. Present. Let's fucking get him. Let's see what we can't do, chat. Pearl's alibi. Here we go. So tell me what you were doing when the murder happened, okay? But what if I can't just tell you what happened? Then I guess... Then I'll guess what happened. How's it sound? When the murder was taking place, you were here, right? The Winding Way. Do you think you can tell me now? I don't know what you were doing. What was it? What was it Pearls was doing in the Winding Way? She had a key, did she not? Great Ace Attorney is also good, but it just didn't hit the same for me. Talking to Morgan, perhaps? Just talking to Eni, perhaps? God damn it! Right. Anything at the detention center? Because I don't think I have enough evidence to deal with the wee one yet. Am I still in for questioning? Should probably be done in a little bit. Come back later. Okay, so there's nothing going on here. Anything going on back here? Okay, so we're stuck at the village, and it's to do with wee one, and it's got to have something to do with fucking Morgan as well. Hold on, let's move again. Move again. Nothing on that side of things either. Got nothing on that one either. Okay, so I guess we gotta focus in on Wii 1. Hold on, I'm gonna go to the Winding Way chat. Play the original original trilogy of the first Apollo Justice game way back. I rediscovered the series a few years ago on the Switch. Oh hell yeah! It's always good to replay older games you've not played for a while. Hold on, dash it down. That's not very interesting. Incinerator. So, sort of chase, decorate flowers, okay. Starting. It's getting food, totally get that nostalgia for the original trilogy strong. God, chat, I'm befuddled on this one, I can't lie. I am befuddled and I am confused. Found the day of the murder, right? Where you found this key is very important. So please, could you tell me where'd you find it? She found it in the incinerator? The door in it was a little open. I took a peek. After the channeling when everybody was in a panic. Who would put the fucking... Finds out that I was playing in the leftover trash, I'll get a spanking. The incinerator sounds like a good place. Ah, okay, right. Okay, that's good to know then. You like things about spirit channeling too. The Curain sacred writings are on the screen. 6 lines to the sacred writings. Cleanse thy soul, open the door to the spiritual realm beyond, converse with the departed, cast on thy self-protection, maintain the spell, release the spell. Right, well, she said to check the incinerator, so guess we're going to the incinerator again, chat. Ooh, winding way. Yep. Oh, shit. We got something new. Someone by the incinerator. Suspect number 1 has arrived. Forgot the... Ooh, Edge with side games. Interesting. You're the dentist guy? Hello, suspect number 1. What can we do for you? It's like my turn. Nice to see you too. We're all out of breath. She's trying to hide stuff, chat. I know it. You know about the urn. What do we have over here? Interesting. What do we have here? Unburned remnants found inside the garden incinerator, a small amount of blood on it. Most curious. So someone tried to burn this. And this key was also found in there. Incinerator played a crucial part in this murder. I'm gonna present this to her. Have to write all about my report. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Oh, did I almost forget the... Oh yeah, I've already read that. Yeah, I had no idea. I didn't really know that we were, Edge with side games. I didn't know that was a thing. always remember there's only one. Should have said first place. Totally don't know anything because I was like sleeping in the side room. Why don't you tell me about your sister's fatal accident? Like, why? It's got something to do with the murder? I don't know yet, but I'm trying to chase down every lead I can. Ah, I mean, she's lying. Let's just talk to her about the sacred urn real quick. Some sort of legend connected with that urn. Village's treasure. Interesting. Didn't know that. Sealed inside the urn. Like, Ah, the spirit of Amife is in the jar. Okay. Power of the Fae family, stick around, it's totally romantic. If that urn is really as important as it's could be a vital clue. Right, so I'm going to save really quick, chat, and then I'm going to see if I can't pry her mouth open. See what we can't get out of this. Tell me about the traffic accident. That's a great guy. Made my sister fall asleep. Like, that's all I have to say about that. How would I know if that person like had an accident? Besides, like, Okay, I don't think I have anything else on her for now then. This is not going great, chat. I'm very frustrated again. Okay, nothing's changed here. And she's got nothing on that as well. Oh, chat, I feel as if I am in a bind. Chat. One burn remains from the incinerate, small amounts of blood, pictures. Right, what time is it? Midnight. Okay, chat. I am vexed. I am frustrated. I am annoyed because I don't know what direction to go in with the game. So it is midnight. So I'm going to call it there. I'm going to call it a night. We're going to rest. We're going to chill out. Tomorrow we start. Oh God. Hold on a second. Tomorrow we start our first foray into JRPGs. We will be playing Bravely Default tomorrow morning. If anybody wishes to join for that, please feel free to. That'll be at 10 AM UK time. Just gonna save game. Have a good night. I will do, thank you. But yeah, for now I am fucking I'm wiped out. That was a frustrating trial, and I do not know what direction to go in now for the actual for the questioning of people and shit. So I am tired. So I'm gonna go call it a night. I'm gonna go rest. I'm gonna go lie down. I'm gonna go chill out. Hold on 1 second, chat. I've got to do my bit before I do that. There we go. That's better. Right, chat. So, thank you everybody who came, thank you everybody who stayed, thank you everybody who lurked, thank you to everybody who dipped in now and then. Yes, thank you everybody who came. This is a bit of a frustrating one, I must admit. Like, the trial had me fucking scratching my head, and like after the trial, fucking, I had just, I don't know what I'm going to be looking for when I boot it up next time, but I'm sure I'll find something. Yeah, but I will see you all. I will see you all tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow for the start of Bravely Default, which I'm very much looking forward to, because I played some of it on the 3DS, and I was begging for ages for us to finally get a what do you call it? To finally get a port. There we go. My fucking brain won't turn on then. Right. So I will see you tomorrow morning, chat. Everybody take care, and thank you so much for the stream. Of course. I'm very happy to get back to streaming now after the weekend's finished. But yes, I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Bye.